Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Dharani the Practical AI Dev. In our previous videos, we have learned about what is agent AI agent and we have created a multi-agent application and we executed successfully. So in today's video, we will learn about agentic AI. So first, what is agentic AI? So imagine you ask ChatGPT, build me a to-do application with fast API and React. A normal LLM might generate some code, but an agentic AI system does not stop there. It will understand the goal, break it into a smaller task, decide which task to do first, use the tools, file system, APIs or database, and check whether the generated code is working fine or not, and fix the errors automatically, continue until the application is complete. So instead of simply answering question, it works towards completing a goal. So that is the purpose of agentic AI. So how it is differ from traditional AI? So traditional AI user asks the question and it will go to LLM. LLM just answer the question response. Like if you want to write a Python code of for CRUD API, it just give you some piece of code. But the agentic AI, it will get the user goal, understand the goal, and it will create the plan, execute those tasks and use the tools to complete the task, review the results, improve the output, and then complete the goal. So that is the difference between traditional AI and the agentic AI. So these are the core components of agentic AI. First one is ReAct, planning, reflection, and then memory. So ReAct. ReAct is nothing but reason plus act. So reason plus act. Thinking, acting, observing, and then thinking again. So instead of guessing, it gathers the information before answering it. For example, what is weather in Bangalore today? So workflow is it will first think I need live weather and it will do the action like call the weather API and it will observe the response 28 degrees Celsius or something and it will give you the answer. So this is the reasoning plus acting. So this is a ReAct loop. So for example, without ReAct, what it will do is user asks the question, LLM guesses and it will give you the answer. But with ReAct, user asks question and it will think, search, observe, and then answer. So this is much more reliable because it is based on an observation rather than assumptions. So that is the purpose of the ReAct. Second one is planning. So larger tasks should not solve in one step. So the agent first creates the plan. For example, if you want to build a shopping website, instead of immediately writing a code, agent creates a roadmap, get the goal, backend, database, authentication, front end, and then deployment. So it will separate each task and the task becomes smaller and easier to execute. So that is the purpose of planning. The third one is a reflection. So human checks their own code. For example, in your if you write some code for sum of two numbers, for example, and you're executing it, and you found out some error, and then what you will do, you will review the code and just fix the errors and execute it, and you will get the proper answer. So that is a reflection. So this agentic AI also does the same. It will generate the code, run the test. If there are any error found, it will fix the code, run again, and it gives you success. So instead of accepting the first output, the system improves it. So that is the purpose of reflection. And the fourth one is memory. So without memory, so agentic AI allows the system to remember the information. Without memory, so for example, my favorite language is Python. So later, if you ask what language do I like, the AI doesn't know because it doesn't store the your preferences. But with memory, the my favorite language is Python, and it will store it. Later, it will retrieve and generate the Python code. So that is the purpose of memory. There are two types of memory: short-term memory and long-term memory. Short-term memory, it exists only one conversation in your only one a smaller chat. But the long-term memory, it will store your preferences like database and your languages, everything. So it will work for your future conversation. It will retrieve from it. So this is the core components of agentic AI. The fourth one, complete the workflow. These are the complete workflow of agentic AI. So if user asks the question, it will understand the goal, and then it will do the planning, like what are the tasks sure I have to complete. Second, it will execute those tasks and then react. It will first think, act, observe which tools to use, everything, and then it will do the same thing until it completes. And then once it is completed, a reflection. It will just review the code. If there are any error, fix it, and then run the code and the test again. So after that, it will just improve the output and store the day preferences to the memory. Then it will give you the final response. This is the complete workflow of agentic AI. So the last one is AI agent versus agentic AI. So you might, in our previous video, we have built a multi-AI agent. So there is the AI agent and agentic AI, the wording wise, it looks same, but actually it is not same. So AI agent is, in a simple word I can explain, AI agent is a worker, but agentic AI is a worker's ability to think, react, and then planning, execute, improve everything. So this is complete ability of the workers. That is the difference between AI agent and agentic AI. So in a simple term, I can tell you AI agent is a developer. So they are just executing the task and everything. And the agentic AI is a kind of a manager. They are actually planning, get the requirements from management, and they are just doing the plannings and assigning the task to each of the developers to do that, and then they will review, and then they execute. They produce the proper output of that requirement. So that's a simple term of AI agent and agentic AI. So, so in our upcoming video, we will build a real-time application of Agentic AI. So I hope you understand the basics of Agentic AI. Thank you. Thanks for watching.